Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lords of the Night. With me, as always, is the Lord of Pain, Ranting Monkey,
Hello.
and the Lord of Pennies, Satsu 2 cents.
What up, Del?
And I'm your host, Scribe, the Lord of Punishment. Hello, chat. Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's had a good week so far, and a good week to come. Independence Day ahead of you for those of you who are true red-blooded Americans. The rest of you are all commies. Wow. Yeah, I said it. It's true. Go back to Russia or whatever. If Putin will take you.
Super convincing.
Yeah, I know. No, it's all right. You can be from wherever. We are all takers here. There are no borders on Lords of the Night. Everyone who has an internet connection can join. That's the only barrier, I suppose. Anyway, I don't know where I was going with that, if I was going anywhere at all. Satsu, how are you?
Pretty good. Chilling out, having a good time over here.
Are we having a Sinatra raid?
It is Tuesday, so probably.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome all visitors from the wonderful world of Sinatra. You too are welcome, as long as you're Americans. Anyway, Monkey, how are you doing?
Not too bad. Just waking up, but otherwise okay. How you doing, Scribe?
It has been a roller coaster day, both at work and elsewise. I won't go into too much detail. There was some upset and restructuring at work today. That was surprising. I will apparently end up with additional duties in the next couple of weeks at work, which is not welcome. Hopefully it won't be prohibitive, but we'll wait and see. And then there was all of the drama, such as it is with my YouTube situation, but I'll get to that when we get to YouTube time. But until then, Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies, video games, hit that like button if you have not already, and at least half of you haven't. So what are you doing here, aside from just listening to us? Which is fine, but you know, that one little click does help out. Oh no, the cops are coming after me. Oh no, they found me. They know what I did.
Extort your viewers.
Oh my God, it's probably the copyright police. No. And share our stuff. Pretty please. If there's one thing I've learned, or had, I suppose, been reminded of this week more than anything else, it's that the YouTube algorithm is not geared towards assisting content creators as much as it is ignoring them and or penalizing them unfairly. So if you like a creator's stuff, the best thing you can do for them is to retweet it or share it or like it, whichever. And so same goes for us. If you happen to like this or anything that we do, please do. Anything else to mention or plug before we get into the wonderful world of schnuzz?
Nope, just no game stream.
Try that again.
Monkey says no game stream, and I said I have a belly button.
I can see who actually takes this show seriously.
I know, it's me. Monkey, you need to get your shit together, dude.
Well, with that, today is a potpourri day, as far as I'm concerned. Nothing overriding occurred, let's say. So who wants to be our Vanna White?
We'll let Monkey do it since I was Vanna White last.
I think Monkey might be occupied with tater tot casserole.
Are you stuffing your face?
Satsu should do it because, yeah, I'm eating.
Yeah, see, I pay attention around here.
Well, you take this seriously.
I do, too seriously. All right, so Satsu, your categories are tax returns,
Boo.
if you can imagine that. Let's see, the border,
Boo.
the moon,
Okay.
and comedy.
What kind of comedy?
I'm not telling you. So you have taxes, the border, the moon, and comedy.
Let's get taxes out of the way.
Now, there are only two certain things in life:
Taxes and peanut butter?
No, taxes and The Simpsons.
And
this comes from our favorite friend at CNN, Chris Eliza. This is always how the fight for Donald Trump's tax returns was going to end. It's going to end? It's over? Really? I thought they were still going with it.
Did you guys ever guess that there would have been a fight for somebody's tax returns?
No, there's a lot of things about the last couple of years I would never have imagined, but this one in particular is just... Excuse me. On Tuesday, House Democrats sued the Treasury Department to get a look at President Donald Trump's taxes. Quote, despite its mandatory obligation, the Treasury Department failed to comply with the law, and denied the committee's request, said House Ways and Means Committee Chairman Richard Neal, Democrat of Massachusetts, in announcing the move. Quote, the administration also refused to comply with the subpoenas I subsequently issued in an effort to obtain the materials. Due to that noncompliance, the committee is now pursuing this matter in the federal courts, unquote. The decision to sue comes a full 3 months after Neal first requested Trump's tax returns from Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin, citing an IRS statute that states the Treasury Secretary, quote unquote, shall turn over the tax return of any American if the chair of the House Ways and Means Committee requests it. In his initial request, Neal asked for personal tax returns from 2013 to 2018, as well as returns for 8 business entities affiliated with Trump. Mnuchin denied the request, insisting that Neal didn't have any credible reason to ask for Trump's returns other than to score political points. And that decision led us to today.
I mean, what other reason is there?
I don't know. Unless they have... if they had evidence that some malfeasance was taking place, you'd think they'd present that evidence, but they haven't yet. So it's just a fishing expedition, more or less. And I said on Twitter today, I said, there's 2 things that can come about from this if it succeeds. One, they get the tax returns and they find something suspicious and or, possibly incriminating. Or 2, they find a giant nothing burger. And I said, in either instance, one's interesting, one's hilarious. So I win either way. And we've talked a lot about Trump and 4-dimensional chess. It would be hilarious if he's been holding off and fighting this the entire time, knowing that there's nothing there, just to make them fight for it. But who knows? Now here's Chris's analysis, quote unquote, of this. There is and was a 0% chance that Trump or his proxy Mnuchin was ever going to voluntarily turn over the president's tax returns. Excuse me. Why? Because at some point in the relatively early days of the 2016 campaign, Trump and his advisors made the decision that whatever was in his returns would be far more damaging to his chances of being president than the bad press he would get by not releasing them.
Really?
Bullshit, Chris.
He told you that?
Yeah, the tax returns are worse than the Access Hollywood tape, are worse than Stormy Daniels, are worse than his Russia comments at the time, et cetera, et cetera. Let's see. Trump is the first major party presidential nominee to release no tax returns and the first U.S. president since Watergate to refuse to release any returns. That's because it's not a law. It is a tradition. That initial decision has been justified in all sorts of different ways by Trump and his top aides. Well, the only one they need to give is, I don't want to. Now, of course, I don't know all the legalese behind the Senate able to demand tax returns on the basis of what's been written, but that's going to the courts now. So the longest running excuse, this is Chris talking, explanation is that Trump is currently under audit and that you don't release your returns while under audit. Quote, you don't learn anything from a tax return, Trump said at a GOP debate in February 2016. I will say this, Mitt Romney looked like a fool when he delayed and delayed and delayed, and Harry Reid baited him, and Mitt Romney didn't file until a month and a half before the election, and it cost him bigly. See, now, and I just want to pause. I've been told, and I could be wrong, that the word bigly is actually big league, but the way that Trump says it is so quick that people have interpreted as bigly.
Could be with his weird accent.
That's what I have heard. Now, again, I don't know if that's true. Maybe that's just a urban legend. But Chicago Mike has a birthday.
So?
Never mind.
Let me
Okay.
finish eating. And
There you go. Okay, Satsu said so. We're moving on. Sorry, Chicago Mike. Satsu called it. It's nothing for you.
I run the show apparently all of a sudden.
Well, no, you were just so forceful about it. I'm like, well, God, I'm not going to argue with that. That's all right. So, Chicago Mike, you have Satsu to blame. No birthday song for you. He's repeated that same basic line for years now, although it's not, strictly speaking, accurate. Wait. Is that while technically true, Chris?
Yes, it is.
There is no law that bars Trump from releasing his returns. Hey, Chris, there's no law that requires him to either.
Hello.
In fact, there is precedent for a president, say that 10 times fast. Oh, for fuck's sake, Chris, really?
So wait, he's saying there's no law
Yes.
that says he shouldn't, but he's talking about precedent in response to him doing it.
Yes.
Huh.
I assume precedent goes back to tradition. Seeking to knock down the idea that he was a crook, Richard Nixon released his tax returns while in office in 1973. So it's not that Trump can't release his returns under audit. It's that he doesn't want to.
No shit.
You're right, Chris, and he doesn't have to.
God damn, man.
Until this litigation completes, so far as we know, no one is required to release their tax returns just because previous presidents did. Now, again, I am no or Senate lawyer or anything or federal law expert. So if the House Ways and Means Committee actually has a case against it, great. It's going to be litigated and it'll be settled once and for all, and we'll never have to question it again. But anyway. Monkey, are you paused eating?
I'm done. Yes.
All right. Well. Oh wait, no. Satsu said no.
You're damn right. I said no.
I'm curious, Mike. I thought your birthday was tomorrow. I'm happy to sing to you today, but I thought you told me it was tomorrow.
I don't know.
Chicago Mike thanked me.
I saw that.
Oh, thanks, Satsu. Oh, okay. So
Too bad we're singing anyway. This is for me, Mike. This ain't for you. This ain't for you.
Yeah, you see, guys, what little known fact, the birthday singing is actually an act of masturbation for Monkey.
It is. I like doing it. That's why we do it. Ha!
I don't think I'm going to interject anymore then.
Ooh, should I try singing it like Edward G. Robinson, like Chicago gangster? It's like, yeah, see? Yeah.
Please don't.
If you want to.
Yeah, I think so. I think of Chicago, I think of gangsters.
I'm going to kill myself.
All right, Mike. This one, my friend, is for you. And a 1. And a 2. Happy
birthday to you.
This is not okay.
Happy
birthday, see?
Chicago, I tried to save you, dude.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. See?
Chicago,
you dirty rat.
Oh,
See?
Happy
birthday.
Birthday
to you, dirty rat. See?
Happy birthday, man. I really do hope you have a good one. He said it's tomorrow, but he's probably not going to be around. So that makes sense. I understand that.
See? You dirty rat. You killed my brother. Anyway. All right. Well, we have remaining The Border, The Moon, and Comedy.
I'm already sad, so let's do The Border.
All right. Watchdog finds extreme overcrowding in Border Patrol facilities in an unannounced inspection. Extreme overcrowding and children younger than 7 being held in custody for more than 2 weeks, far longer than the allowed 72 hours, are among the quote-unquote urgent issues discovered at Border Patrol facilities in unannounced visits by an internal government watchdog. The unannounced inspections took place in early June in the Rio Grande Valley region of Texas along the U.S.-Mexico border. Excuse me. That area is the busiest sector for arrests on the southern border. The report includes several photos that depict the extreme overcrowding, as well as standing room only conditions in some Border Patrol facilities, which are designed to be temporary holding facilities. However, over the past several months, the length of time in custody has grown amid the ongoing influx of migrant families and children who turn themselves into agents at the southern border.
Hold on a second.
No, okay.
How doth a place get full of migrants with a ever-increasing influx of migrants when there's not an ever-increasing influx of migrants?
I'm missing something. What?
How is this happening? There is no crisis at the border.
Oh, right. Okay.
How are they full? And why do they keep talking about it's full, but also simultaneously telling us that there's no issue, that we're not having an influx of migrants? Who is this, CNN? What is this?
Yes, this is CNN.
Huh.
All right.
Okay.
For example, at the Centralized Processing Center in McAllen, Texas, the main location for unaccompanied children in the region, 165 children had been in custody longer than a week. Investigators also found that, according to U.S. Border Patrol custody data, roughly 30% of minors at the inspected facilities were held longer than the 72 hours permitted, including some children under 7 who had been held for more than 2 weeks awaiting transfer to Department of Health and Human Services custody. When CNN went inside the processing center last week, there were around 1,900 people in a space designed for 1,500, who included more than 400 unaccompanied children and around 1,200 family members. Inside the cavernous space, the center is divided into sections for single adults, families, and unaccompanied minors who are kept behind chain link fencing. The lights are never turned off, which Customs and Border Protection said was for safety reasons. There are no beds or cots, but children and families have green mats to lie on, as well as Mylar blankets to keep warm. Customs and Border Protection policy, rooted in legal agreements, requires that children be transferred out of custody within 72 hours. The agency aims to move both children and adults out of its custody in that time frame. According to the report, there were 3,400 people in the Rio Grande Valley facilities when inspectors visited who were held longer than 72 hours, including 1,500 people who had been held for more than 10 days. This goes on for a bit, but all the other rhetoric aside, yeah, that's not good. I don't know how you solve it, given the lack of resources and space and everything else, but that's not good.
Well, have you guys heard from anybody who's been complaining about this? What it is they want them to do? Because they're refusing to provide any money to help these people. And they're saying, no, we're not giving them a dime, but these situations are fucked. So they're saying they're being held past the 72-hour threshold. So has anybody actually given an answer on what they're supposed to do with the people after the 72 hours?
Let them go.
Have they said that? Like, has anybody actually said that?
Well, that's the rhetoric coming from Biden and Harris and today Booker in their plans for immigration policy is basically, and I understand that I'm simplifying it overly so, but essentially just decriminalize the situation and let them go.
But the problem with that is if that is to be the solution, then what is the point of having the facilities there to hold them in the first place?
Well, we have to close those.
You're missing the point. We're not supposed to have those to begin with.
Yeah,
That's
they need
what they want.
Yeah, they need to be closed. ICE needs to be abolished, and we decriminalize illegal immigration.
In other words, even though they explicitly said none of us want open borders, they're basically just saying open the borders.
Well, I remember at one point or another they did basically explicitly say open borders. It wasn't. I forget which debate it was, but somebody said decriminalize immigration or something.
That's true.
And so, they have at least at the debates they explicitly said so. And then afterwards, of course, nobody's saying open borders.
Yeah, Julian Castro said that during the first debate.
That's
to make it a civil matter.
That's
jaywalking.
Civil matter. Yeah, civil matter, jaywalking, right? So I don't doubt that there is a crisis at the border. I don't doubt that people are living in conditions that are not good. But at the same time, how do we enforce the law if no funds and resources are being funneled to the people who are meant to enforce the law? And if we're not going to do open borders, I mean, it's, like I said, this is this push-pull relationship between not wanting to admit there's a problem, not wanting to address the problem that's there. So
I wish I could interview one of them and just be like, hey, you want open borders? Yes or no? No, we need to fix it. No, that's not what I asked you.
no.
Do you want the borders open? If not, then explain to me how we're going to handle this situation with this large influx of people without holding them anywhere for any amount of time. Like, explain. I need to know.
Lee Iacocca has died, just as a note.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Lee
I thought he was
Iacocca.
dead.
Nope, apparently at 94, Mr. Chrysler is now dead. Let's see. So Satsu, you've got the moon and comedy.
I'm going to do comedy just because I'm feeling like it won't be funny.
Well, I don't know. Jerry Seinfeld calls out copycats for ripping off comedians in cars getting coffee.
Huh?
Jerry Seinfeld is taking credit for influencing anyone who's doing a show on wheels. In the trailer for the new season of Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, the Seinfeld creator named shows that have been, quote-unquote, influenced by his streaming show. Excuse me. Seinfeld takes aim at The Late Show's Carpool Karaoke, the spoof series Alec Baldwin's Love Ride, the British show Comedians Watching Football with Friends, funny Uber rides, and Clergy in Cars Getting Coffee, which features a rotating cast of guest priests and bishops talking religion. I hadn't heard of that one.
Wow.
Quote, we are proud that others have taken notice of our style and have been inspired by it. The only comment we would like to make is, if you're going to knock us off, get it right, Seinfeld says.
Okay.
Yes?
Well, that just sounded like a different actual statement than what the title implied.
Well, yeah, the whole thing I think is meant in tongue-in-cheek, but notably, Corden's Carpool Karaoke segment was inspired by a 2011 comic relief segment featuring Corden and George Michael. Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee premiered in 2012 on Sony's digital network Crackle. Uh-oh! So basically, Seinfeld stole his idea from Corden, and is now saying Corden stole his idea. Seinfeld.
No.
Oh my God. Drama. That's all. I thought there might have been something more to the story. I thought he was actually going to be calling out people like Amy Schumer style for stealing jokes and things, but whatever.
Squishy's been watching Seinfeld a lot lately. And I've always heard that show in the background, but never actually watched it. That dude has one expression. And one expression only. No matter what is being conveyed, what his angle was, or what type of emotion he's supposed to be conveying, he has one expression on his face all the time, and it is off-putting as fuck. Just thought I'd throw that out there.
Okay. And lastly, one that I'm very interested in. This is a very interesting story. NASA sold the moon landing footage to an intern for $218. Now the tapes could sell for millions.
Oh.
This story is absolutely nuts. On July 20th, 1969, NASA put a man on the moon and captured it all on tape. In 1976, the space agency unknowingly sold those tapes of original footage from the Apollo 11 lunar mission to a lucky intern who held onto them for decades. He never even knew their contents, which I have a hard time believing, but we'll get to that. Now NASA's blunder will belong to the highest bidder. The 3 surviving videotapes of the seminal moment in space exploration are up for auction at a starting bid of $700,000. According to Sotheby's, the tapes are worth up to $2 million. Bidding begins on July 20th on the 50th anniversary of the moon landing. The 2.5 hours of footage provide the sharpest image of the history-making mission ever recorded, from Neil Armstrong's first steps on the moon's surface to an interplanetary conversation with then-President Richard Nixon to the planting of the American flag. The tapes were sold by accident to NASA intern Gary George in 1976, who purchased the set unknowingly among 65 boxes of videotapes at a government surplus auction for $217.77. He resold most of the tapes to local TV stations for a profit, but held onto 3 of them labeled Apollo 11 EVA, July 20th, 1969, reels 1 through 3. Yeah, he had no idea what he had. I'm sure he had no idea what he had. Let's see. It's wise that he did. An EVA, or extravehicular activity, is also known as a spacewalk, and his tapes captured the first lunar EVA. More than 30 years later, after George heard NASA was trying to track down the footage for the moon landing's 40th anniversary, he took the unidentified tapes to they had labels on them. They weren't unidentified. It said right on there what it was. And if he worked at NASA, an EVA, for fuck's sake, he took the unidentified tapes to a video archivist and viewed them for the first time. It was then he realized he'd accidentally purchased the sharpest footage of the lunar landing ever recorded. Whoever purchases the footage will join an exclusive club of viewers. George watched the tapes once more to digitize them and save them on a hard drive, which is included in the tape's sale. Sotheby's staff viewed them once to assess their quality, which they found to be faultless. Still, it's unlikely the highest bidder will snag a bargain like George did. I really hope that the digital version of that stuff is eventually released to the public. I would love to, because the only footage we have is that really grainy, a rebroadcast from CBS stuff. So if they have like a direct recording straight from the horse's mouth, so to speak, I'd love to see that. My grandfather worked on Apollo 11, so I kind of have an interest in this.
Hi.
Anyway, that's all the news stories I had pulled up. You guys
it?
know anything else?
Oh, yeah, that was the last one. Nope.
The only thing I saw was that a judge ruled that asylum seekers can't be held indefinitely. They have to be released.
Yeah, probably.
It'll go to an appellate court, which will probably uphold it, and then we'll see if they take it from, because I'm sure it'll be done in the Ninth Circuit, because this was a ruling in Seattle, I believe it was. So we'll see what happens.
I just don't get it. Just make it not illegal anymore. Like it I don't know. Because like if the courts are agreeing with it and all these people are on the same page or whatever, then what's the fucking point of it being illegal to cross the border?
It's a whole Constitution thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it just kind of says it in the Constitution as to who qualifies as a citizen and who doesn't, and that kind of thing. That's all.
Like one of those laws or rules that's like, yeah, it's illegal to do this, but nobody cares.
Well, if there's nothing else, then we'll move on to MSS News. Guys, if you have news stories you'd like us to read on the air, please send them to us via Twitter using the hashtag MSS News. Can't promise we'll get to them all, but I'll do my best. And we start with some, I guess, semi-breaking news from Frosted Glass. I think I saw this on CNN, but maybe it's been resolved because they didn't make it their headline. Okay. At least 2 people hurt after shooting at a shopping mall in Northern California. Okay, I'll take hurt over dead. At least 2 people are injured after a shooting at a shopping mall in San Bruno, California. Police responded to reports of a shooting at the Tanforan Mall, Tanforan, on Tuesday afternoon. When officers arrived, they found 2 victims with gunshot wounds. Both were treated by paramedics and have been taken to a local hospital. Investigators do not believe the shooting was random. Quote, "We believe that we may have 2 separate shooters," Officer Barberini said, adding the shooters may have been firing at each other or at someone else. The shooting prompted a heavy police response in the area and the closing of a nearby train station. Let's see, they haven't been apprehended, so it's a developing story. So, well, hope they catch him, and I'm glad nobody died. Not much you can do, I suppose. Let's see. What's this? This one comes from Crop Failure. Well, that's a depressing name. Wait, is that? That can't be. No, she just looks kind of like her for a second. Okay, for a second I thought this was Mary Kay Letourneau. It's not. Decidedly not, now that I've seen the picture more clearly. But kindergarten teacher charged with sexually assaulting a student in suburban Chicago.
Yay.
A kindergarten teacher is accused of sexually assaulting a student and soliciting child pornography from another student at Jordan Baptist School in southwest suburban Burbank.
Shocker.
Shannon Griffin, 49, of Oak Lawn, is charged with 5 counts of criminal sexual assault, 1 count of soliciting child pornography, 1 count of distribution of harmful materials, and 1 count of grooming. She was arrested Monday after a month-long investigation found she had sexual contact with a student at the school. Investigators also learned she had sent nude photos and videos of herself and requested nude images from that student as well as another. And now my phone is beeping. Do I need to leave again? Don't know. Let's see. I'm fine. Good. Last night sucked. The sheriff's office didn't list the ages of the children. That's what I'm curious about. The alleged conduct began in 2013 and continued until March 2019. A call to Jordan Baptist School was unanswered on Tuesday. Yeah. So, regardless, throw her in a box. Goodbye.
I just don't understand. Like all these other like injustices and things are sparking movements. Like these big fucking groups and these movements starting all this shit and talk about these epidemics, how there's a problem and all this stuff. And this is the one thing that nobody gives a fuck about. Like ain't no movements that cropped up, or people ain't been talking about it, or there hasn't been a we need to discuss article about this shit. It's just like, yep, women fucking kids. That's totally fine. Just throw them in jail and don't talk about it no more.
I've seen plenty of things talking about it. It just gets overwritten.
Talking about it. I'm just saying, like, where are the people rallying behind this shit? Because this is the time of fucking social movements. You know what I mean? Where people are upset about everything, and but this is the one thing that seems to be like people are just like, yeah, that happens. And I don't know. Just doesn't seem to be getting as much attention. Like people talk about it, of course, because it's news, and they're like, yeah, that's news, but that's it. And it just seems strange because, you know, especially in the age of rape culture, it's like, why is this not a much bigger target? But anyway.
I don't know. Let's see. This one comes from Quinn Harrison. If it'll come up. Explosion destroys home in Ballantine. Man inside airlifted to hospital after calling for help. And yeah, that is a big crater where a house used to be. Charlotte, North Carolina. A man was airlifted to the hospital after he was found inside a Ballantine home that was destroyed in an explosion. I'm amazed he survived, given what that looks like. The incident happened before 2 p.m. at a home on James Jack Lane, which is off Ballantine Commons Parkway in Ballantine Country Club. A lot of Ballantine in there. A few details have been released, but officials at the scene say they believe people were in the home when it exploded. They said a rescue mission was underway to find those people. Oh, he might have been the only survivor. Yeah, not much to say elsewise. They haven't released any information about who it was or how many people or anything else. But I'll put a link in the chat just so you can see the. I mean, it's a little piece of wasteland right there. So. Yeah, I'm assuming a gas explosion. I don't know. Let's see. There's no word on what may have caused the explosion, but officials say the cause is under investigation. Yeah. Okay.
Holy shit.
Thank you, Sanguine. Males have hyperagency, so they can consent even when too young or under the influence / blacked out, whereas females have hypoagency and are unable to consent if they have been in the same room as AC. Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Thank you, Sanguine. Let's see. Who's next? All right. This one comes from Pissed Off Shih Tzu. Attorney for a journalist attacked by Antifa says she plans to, quote, sue everybody the law permits. I don't blame her. The cops, the mayor, the city, a whole nine yards. The attorney for Andy No, a conservative journalist who was attacked by Antifa during a protest in Portland on Saturday, said she plans to hold the city government responsible for his beating. Quote, I'm going to sue everybody who the facts and the law support being sued, attorney Harmeet Dillon told Fox and Friends hosts on Tuesday. No, a contributor for Quillette who covers Antifa, was seen on video being punched, kicked, and doused with a milkshake during a clash between Antifa and those of the right-wing hate group Proud Boys on Saturday. Yeah, real big hate group. Several people were arrested throughout the day, but Dillon said those apprehended attacked police, and the people responsible for the attack on Andy No have not been held responsible. I love it how even Fox will call Proud Boys a hate group, but just call Antifa Antifa.
Right.
Yeah. Interesting. But yeah, lawsuits, I'm not surprised at all. Oh, okay. So I have a Florida man story. Can you imagine the high level nature of this story, Monkey?
How do you mean high level?
Oh, like what it might be about.
Oh, Florida man, Jesus. That's a guy was caught having sex with a chicken while feeding a waffle to a horse.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and just say throwing of some sort.
Satsu wins $1 million. Florida man arrested after pelting girlfriend with McDonald's sweet and sour packets.
Oh, I actually saw that story. I didn't realize it was from Florida.
A Florida man pelted his girlfriend in the head and face area with sweet and sour sauce packets Sunday because he was angry she had, quote, bought the wrong food from McDonald's. Jesus Oscar Ferrer Jr., 30, attacked his girlfriend, with whom he has a child, in the couple's motel room in Tampa. A struggle ensued, and Ferrer allegedly pinned his girlfriend to the ground. He, quote, placed his palm on her face and pressed her head into the ground using his body weight, which prompted the woman to rip off part of his beard.
Okay.
Okay, that's got fuck all to do with... Okay.
Why does this happen every time?
Yeah, it's like the food part is just like the most minor element of the situation. Everything else is like, woman throws chicken breast at man's head, gets arrested. When a woman threw a hot iron into her husband's face, like what?
This happens every fucking time, dude.
I think they specifically look for these stories where they can say, hey, there was a food fight part. Let's put that on the headline.
Yeah, they have to be. This has to. I refuse to believe that this is just a coincidence.
Oh, come on, guys. It's accidental.
No fucking way.
Come on.
Let's see. We talked about that one yesterday. Okay, this one comes from Jay Brown. Navy SEAL Edward Gallagher acquitted of murder in ISIS fighter case. A decorated Navy SEAL was found not guilty of murder and attempted murder Tuesday by a military jury in San Diego. Navy SEAL Special Operations Chief Edward Gallagher, 40, was accused of fatally stabbing a young, wounded ISIS fighter, posing for a picture with the corpse, and shooting 2 civilians from a sniper's perch in Iraq in 2017. Gallagher was found not guilty on the charge involving the photo with the corpse. After the verdict was read, Gallagher, his wife, and the whole defense team stood up and began hugging. Gallagher and his wife, Andrea, who was crying, touched foreheads and held each other's faces. Gallagher's sentencing for wrongful posing for photos with a human casualty. That is a very specific... I guess that is a thing that is in the book somewhere, given the history of warfare. Is scheduled for later on Tuesday, but his attorneys expect Gallagher will be freed afterwards. Quote, we have a sentencing to do, but the maximum sentence of what they're about to sentence him on is much less than the time that they've already had him in the brig, so he is going home. Let's see. They called the case an almost 2-year nightmare and said it was a good day. Andrea Gallagher, the wife, said, we're finally vindicated after being terrorized by the government that my husband fought for 2 decades in the war on terror. The jury of 5 Marines and 2 sailors, one of whom is a SEAL, had to decide if the boy was stabbed to death or died from wounds sustained during an airstrike, with Gallagher being falsely accused by disgruntled subordinates. The jury began deliberations Monday in the court-martial at Naval Base San Diego. Yeah, I heard about this peripherally, bits and pieces, so there you go.
Huh. They said he got snitched out by his subordinates?
Well, that was the defense's contention.
Jesus Christ. Friendly fire and snitches. I'm never joining the military.
All right, let's see. This one comes from Peter Stewart, Mr. Cybersecurity. I didn't even know that someone was missing. Girl found safe, man still missing in... Okay. How do I pronounce that word? I'm going to spell it out. You take your pick. Here's how it's spelled. Kejimkujik.
You lost me like 5 letters in.
Too many K's for a name.
Kujik. Is that it? Kujik. Okay, that's my best guess. Canadians out there, in Kujimkuchik National Park. That's what it is. Kujimkuchik. The RCMP says a young girl has been found safe, but the search for a missing man is still underway in Nova Scotia's Kejimkuchik National Park. Annapolis District RCMP received a report shortly after 6 p.m. Monday that a 9-year-old girl and a 46-year-old man had failed to return home after a 3-day canoeing and camping trip. Police say they were prepared for the trip and had sufficient camping equipment and provisions. The pair left Milford House on Friday. They plan to paddle the Mercy River, arriving at Jake's Landing in Kejimkuchik National Park on Sunday, a trip of approximately 20 kilometers. Search crews have been scouring the ground, shoreline, and air since they were reported missing Monday evening. Let's see. The girl was found safe shortly after 1:30 p.m. Tuesday. Police say she wasn't injured. Crews are still looking for Bradley Hall, who remains missing. Searchers say they plan to search through the night. Well, if his daughter was found alone and he's not there, fingers crossed, but I don't know. Did anybody say here, Scribe Light, just say Keji? Please don't say that long word is just pronounced Keji.
No.
Okay. Everyone just calls it Keji. Oh, okay. I see. The first. Okay. Well, okay. Let's see. Keji Makujik. Keji Makujik. Okay.
I'm going with Steve.
Keji Makujik. Okay, I want to learn something new every day. All right. Moving on. What is
Can I inject a story?
Can you inject a story with what?
My
Collagen?
beautiful voice.
Oh, okay. I'll just sit back. Go ahead.
Sorry, this is one I would have put in the thing myself if I had seen it, if I'd woke up earlier to see it. Representative Frederica Wilson demands prosecution for those who mock Congress online.
Where's this lady from?
Florida man.
Oh!
Democratic Florida Representative Frederica Wilson asserted that people who mock members of Congress online should face persecution.
I mean, prosecution?
Prosecution. I read that wrong. It says prosecution.
Because persecution can happen just fine. That always happens.
Those people, there's a quote, and there's actual video of this, guys. Those people who are online making fun of members of Congress are a disgrace, and there's no need for anyone to think that's unacceptable. She meant to say acceptable, but she did say unacceptable. We're going to shut them down and work with whoever it is to shut them down, and they should be prosecuted. You cannot intimidate members of Congress, frighten members of Congress. It's against the law, and it's a shame in this United States of America. Now, I want to go back and remind you, she's talking about people who make fun of them.
Mm-hmm.
This is a sitting member of Congress talking about literally violating the First Amendment, throwing people in jail for making fun of her.
So she's probably not going to be in office very much longer?
Oh, no.
I'm sure with
20 years, at least 20 years more.
The district that she's in, I'm sure she'll be fine.
Yeah, they're too busy throwing food at each other. They don't know what the fuck is going on.
Thank you, Sanguine. Now you had it right the first time, Monkey. No, he didn't.
Well,
it's prosecution, not persecution.
there's the story for anybody. And everywhere I found it was only right-wing sites, but then I watched the video itself, and that's what the bitch says. You make fun of Congress online, you should be prosecuted.
Ranting
The
Monkey Games.
fuck?
Ranting Monkey Games is posting in the chat now. Oh, okay.
Oh, I must be signed into that because that was the last place I streamed.
Yeah, you'll have to tell us about that later. Let's see. We'll do a couple more here. This one comes from Jack the motherfucking Cockring. If it'll come up. A family of 4 accidentally found themselves on Virgin Atlantic's Pride flight featuring drag queens, celebrity performances, and dancing in the aisles. Accidentally. Okay. A British family with 2 young sons unexpectedly booked themselves on to Virgin Atlantic's Pride flight. The flight from London to New York was organized to celebrate World Pride 2019 and mark the 50th anniversary of the Stonewall Uprising. It featured drag queens, celebrity performances, singing and dancing, and plenty of glitter. The Powell family fully embraced the party atmosphere. And there's several pictures. Several pictures. Celebrity entertainers included actor Titus Burgess, best known for his role in The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, DJ Jody Harsh, drag queen Courtney Act, Grammy-winning singer-songwriter Mnek, never heard, model and activist Monroe Bergdorf, and more. Except for the first guy, I don't think I've heard of any of these people. So. Burgess said, quote, "Let me be perfectly queer. The Virgin Pride flight was an event to remember, singing some of my favorite songs halfway across the Atlantic to 300 LGBTQ plus passengers. I don't think the family of 4 swang that way. Is a true honor, and I'm certainly looking forward to showing off the best of New York City over the coming days." Okay, well, ta-da!
Okay.
Yeah, that's a story. Sanguine, thank you again. Hostility and ill treatment, especially because of race or political or religious beliefs. So the prosecution is persecution in this. Well, they're talking about jokes, which could be political, and I suppose could be racial, could be religious, but aren't inherently so. So, yeah, just be a nitpicker, because I do that from time to time.
What?
What?
I've never heard you do that before.
Nitpicking? Have you ever heard me do a movie review? Let's see. What is this? Oh, is that story about Representative Wilson, Monkey?
Yes.
Okay. The original Shroom sent in that story, so I didn't want to double it up.
Oh, sorry, Shroom. I didn't know it was in there.
That's fine. This one comes from New Fate 26. Ooh, this ain't good. Young man engulfed in flames by school chemistry experiment wins nearly $60 million.
That'll come down.
A former New York City high school student who was disfigured when a 2014 chemistry experiment went awry was awarded nearly $60 million on Monday. A Manhattan jury delivered a more than $59 million verdict. Well, if you said 60, then it is more than 59 million. So, half to compensate Alonzo Yanes for past pain and suffering, and half for future pain and suffering based on a 54-year life expectancy. Yanes was engulfed in flames after a botched chemistry experiment. He is still coping with the damage left by burns over more than 30% of his body. The jury found the city's Department of Education and his former teacher liable for the accident. Yanes, now 21, was 16 when a fireball erupted from an experiment conducted by his teacher, Anna Poole, at Beacon High School in January 2014. Other students also suffered first-degree burns. Poole conducted the experiment, known as the Rainbow, at the prestigious Manhattan school with a gallon jug of methanol. She intended to show how salts change color when exposed to methanol. Yanes' attorney, Ben Rabinowitz, who asked for $70 million in damages, said his client was hospitalized for 5 months after the accident. He spent 2 of those months in a burn unit undergoing painful skin graft surgeries. Yanes suffered injuries that damaged his face, neck, arms, and hands. Quote, he can look forward to more pain and suffering for the remainder of his life, Rabinowitz told NBC. So it's a very sad situation all around. Yeah, well, that does really suck. So I hope the money is able to make his life as comfortable as it can be. I don't know.
I have a feeling that'll be brought down, though.
Buy some new skin, dude. You're good.
I don't know. Do you think it's a good look for the school to start appealing that one?
$60 million, yeah.
No.
That's still the education of everybody that they have to educate. So
I'm saying it's probably financially reasonable for them to do so, but it's not a good look at all.
Okay, let's end on this one because maybe it'll solve a mystery I've been wondering out for the last couple of days or so. This one comes from your boy Pat. Video shows woman licking tub of Bluebell ice cream, then returning it to the store shelf.
Yeah, I saw that bitch do that shit.
Let's see. Don't take Bluebell's sweetness for granted. The company is coordinating with law enforcement, retail partners, and social media platforms to track down a woman shown in a video licking the top of a 64-ounce ice cream container at a grocery store. The woman appears to place the now tainted container back on the shelf at the end of the video. Several copies of the video have gone viral. And then the article posts a copy of the video, but above it says, warning, post contains graphic... Oh, I thought it said images. Is the language. I don't know what they said. I thought it was going to say graphic images. I'm like, well, licking ice cream isn't quite graphic, but whatever. Let's see. This type of incident will not be tolerated, said Bluebell when asked about the video by WAFB. Food safety is a top priority, and we will work hard to provide a safe product and maintain the highest level of confidence from our customers. Don't they usually like seal the tops of those things with like plastic now?
Some brands do that, but a lot of them still don't. So
I must be thinking of like dryers or something because I thought they all sealed their.
You say dryers?
Dryers ice cream.
You mean Briars?
Isn't there a Dryers?
I don't think so.
Not that I'm aware of.
I know there's a Briars. I don't know if there's a Dryer.
Yeah, Dryers Ice Cream, Dreyer.
Really?
Dryers Grand Ice Cream Holdings, a subsidiary of Nestle, is a United States-based producer of ice cream and frozen yogurt. Yeah.
Huh. Never seen it.
Yeah.
But no, not all ice cream has the seal on it.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it did. So when I saw her do that, I thought it was a setup. I thought it was like, oh, it's a gag, but maybe not. So.
Aether says this is slightly an overreaction. I don't think so. I mean, some people who are freaking out and getting mad at the company, like it was their fault because them like other places didn't seal, the top or whatever. But I'm like, I rarely see the seal on ice cream, so it's like, why blame the company? Because this bitch is nasty.
Yeah. Well, if they didn't before, I'll bet you Bluebell does it now.
Right.
Yeah.
That'd be a good PR move. Just say, well, from now on, our packaging is going to have a plastic seal on it. So.
Ain't no telling what that bitch got.
Yeah, and I've seen a couple of copycats do something similar in videos since then, which is like, oh, great, we got a new trend. People drooling all over other people's ice cream.
I'd like to see their social medias. I bet you it's full of fucking virtue signaling.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for all the stories. We're going to move on to YouTube time. Satsu, what have you been up to?
Uploaded my cast iron unboxing video today. Recorded another video. Got another video that I'll be recording tomorrow. Actually, 2 to 3 videos that I'll be recording tomorrow. Got a video slated to upload on my gaming channel tomorrow. So been pretty busy. Got another busy day tomorrow because there's a couple more things I want to do. And yeah, that's it. The cast iron video, if you guys want to check that out. I'm thinking about doing another video on the process to season them. not like a tutorial or anything, but just like my attempt to do it properly, because I feel like looking like a fool on the internet. So
You look like a fool. What?
At this point, I'm just looking for content. Like I'm everything that I think of, everything that I've been thinking of doing, or I'm just like, how can this be a video? So that's what I'm trying to stay focused on. So check it all out. I got a bunch of stuff for you guys to watch.
You should try to like make every dish in the fanciest cookbook you can find. Find like the highest quality Gordon Ramsay book and make every dish in the Ramsay book.
Oh God! And send it to Gordon Ramsay so he can be like, "What are you fucking doing?"
Yeah, he'll say, "You donkey." All right, Monkey, what have you been up to?
Nothing. I did a few streams today, but that was it.
Nothing. I did a few streams.
That's
kind of contradictory.
No,
what kind of streams did you do?
For me.
What kind of streams did you do?
I did Monkey in the morning, and then I ran my host sim around for a while, and then I was over with Bloodwing for a bit.
And how was that?
That was good. It was a good time.
You had I forgot about your horse sim.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, Alex Simeon. He had some bad press, so women wouldn't bang him today. It was disheartening.
Yeah.
He actually had to go sue for slander to get his name cleared. Even though the rumors about him were absolutely true.
Oh, so like modern day activists.
Indeed.
Beans.
All right.
He was judged for having children out of wedlock.
What?
Because apparently The Sims is set in the 1950s. I'm done.
Oh. I had quite the adventure in the last 24 hours of my YouTubing. First off, thanks to everybody who's watched the new video and commented. Appreciate it. But then there was the adventure of copyright and copyright music, or music that was said to be copyright free and royalty free. So for those of you that missed it, yesterday, I received a copyright claim on the music that I use as the opening and closing for all of my videos. It was a claim made by some company I never heard of before, although they called the song by a name that wasn't the name of the song that the artist called it, and yet they claimed my latest video. Very confused by this, because that song is one that I found back when I first started my channel. I think my very first video had that music in it at the opening, and that was back in 2016. And I got it off of Audio Library, which is the officially endorsed YouTube channel by YouTube for creators to get copyright-free and royalty-free music. So when I saw this, of course, I was quite confused and worried that every scripted video I've ever created on my channel could then essentially be claimed in ownership by this company for the sake of a song that I use just as a bookend. So I took a long shot, and I tweeted the artist to whom I've given credit for that song in every video I've ever made, and just said, "Hey, I've used your song forever. Something's wrong. Let me know. Do I have to stop using it? Can I get help here?" Within like an hour or so, I got a response back, and I was floored, because usually when you tweet even a minor celebrity or something, you never hear back. But no, immediately Joey Pecoraro, my absolute hero, tweeted me back and said, "I just told my manager about this. Here's his email address. Email him the details." And I did. I emailed his manager, Chris, and within an hour or so of that, the guy emailed me back and said, "Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. Send me your information, and I'll get it cleared up." And I did that, and he went through whatever process he had to go through, and he says that the copyright strike, or well, not strike so much, but claim, will be cleared up within 24 hours. And if I ever run into this again in regards to any of Joey's songs, to contact him. So first off, I just want to say, as I put on Twitter, a very, very, very big thank you to both Joey Pecoraro and Chris. He's got a name that I can't pronounce off the top of my head, and I don't have it in front of me, but He knows who he is. I want to thank them so much for their immediate and really kind assistance in this, because I was really worried there for a little bit. So yeah, I tweeted out both Joey's. Well, on every video of mine, you can find in the description a link to Joey's SoundCloud account. But also, Chris works for swmmng.com. It's like swimming without the I's, basically. And that's the management company that handles Joey and several other artists. So there's a link on my Twitter I just put up earlier today. Go check them out. Send them some love. Very nice people. That aside, there was a tangential problem with this in that, well, the music I got was from Audio Library, which said it was copyright-free, royalty-free. And yet this is the second time, all the 2 different songs, that I've gotten a copyright claim from music I got from that YouTube channel. So I tweeted them as well last night. And surprisingly enough, because usually I don't get responses from YouTube, or at least the last time I tweeted them about this, I didn't hear anything back. They got back to me and they asked me for details, and I told them, well, Joey Pecораro's song and this one called Let the Show Begin from Hook Sounds. And they immediately tweeted back and said, Hook Sounds scammed us. They gave us all these songs way back when as copyright free, and then they changed them to premium. We put a notice out 2 months ago on the YouTube channel. But yeah, there's nothing we can do. And I looked, and yeah, they had put out a notice. But of course, if I've had that song on my hard drive for 2.5 years now or whatever. So I don't go back to the YouTube channel that often for any music. So I wouldn't know. And of course, they have no idea who's downloaded their music or the music from that. So they can't notify everybody. So I asked them, I said, well, if any song that you post onto your channel is said to be copyright-free and royalty-free, but at any point in the future could turn into a time bomb that zaps any creator that happened to use it now or 3 years ago, how is it safe to use any music off of your YouTube channel? And I got a more lengthy response, but the key line in there at the end was, you have to trust us. And I'm like, I understand that this is not your fault that they scammed you, but it's not a matter of trust, So first and foremost, I'm save for the couple of songs that I still use, which is the opening and closing to the Scribe videos and the opening music to Non-Author Dark, which has been in the public square forever. So fingers crossed that never comes up. I'm never going to be using music from Audio Library again, which is a shame because they've got hundreds and hundreds of songs of all different types and styles and genres, and it's advertises all free and fair use, et cetera, et cetera. And, I bet you that 99% of the music on there is probably safe now and in perpetuity. But I can't say it is for sure, and it's a shame. But so that was an interesting little adventure. But again, all thanks and gratitude off to Joey and his manager, Chris, for really just, turning that whole thing around real quick. So, and apparently I'm not the only one who's been zapped for using Joey's music. I forget who it is off the top of my head. Somebody tweeted me last night a forum post from last year or something with several people talking about how the same mystery company had struck their videos over songs of Joey's. And I sent that off to Chris as well after this got resolved. And I said, hey, I don't know if you know about this stuff. And I asked him because I was half thinking about maybe trying to get him on a Familiar with the Matter or something about the music industry. But I asked him, I said, is this something that happens a lot? Do you have any insight as to why this happens or what, what goes on? And he says, nope, we only know about it when someone like you tells us, and then we have to go through the channels to try to correct it because, nobody tells us anything. So if somebody makes a false claim on our music, we don't know it. And I found that even more disturbing, So this company, they changed the name of the song. They have it posted somewhere out on YouTube under that name, and they put a copyright on it. And then they go and then they claim this falsely. And, conceivably, like I say, could monetize every video I've ever made and take all the money for themselves. Not that my videos make all that much money, but that's beside the point. So yeah. Anyway, guys, if you are YouTube content creators, the safest advice is to get music that is decidedly in the public domain, like classical music or something, or make it yourself, or get somebody to make it for you and commission them. Audio library. I would love to say that audio library is a safe place to go. I can't now, which is unfortunate. So anyway, that's my long-winded stuff. Aside from that, on Sunday, I'll be having a Familiar with the Matter, but this on consumer finance with Three-Sided Coin, who knows a lot about housing loans and credit card finance and personal finance, all that kind of stuff. And I was thinking about doing a video on sovereign citizens, maybe? I don't know. There's a lot of stuff out there on sovereign citizens. I don't know if it's worth trying to throw my hat into that ring, but I'll think about it. That's all the YouTube I've got. Internet fucketry time. I don't think I have much, so I'll go real quick just to get my voice the longest rest as I can. Yeah, so yeah, thank you to Joey and Chris. Where was that other thing that I said something smarmy about?
I got to step away for 1 second. Be right back.
Okay. Oh, yeah, so this lady named Shannon Watts, who is apparently the founder of Moms Demand, which is a grassroots organization fighting gun violence. She tweeted this out today. All white Americans have racist bones in their bodies. It is part of our DNA as a nation. We may wish we didn't. We may be working to correct it. But instead of denying it, let's admit it and talk about it. Much of what we do is impacted by it. We need to stop using this saying. And she retweeted somebody who said something. I don't know. I don't know what saying they're talking about in this other tweet. It's either principled conservatives or, yeah, I don't know what that means. But I responded this way, and you tell me what you think about this, Satsu. Hello. Okay. This is what I said. I said, I'm sorry. You're speaking with false authority on racism, since your white privilege makes you complicit in white supremacy in the first place. Everything you say is suspect, since you are blind to the lived experiences of the truly oppressed. Take your white guilt elsewhere, please. Now, as I wrote that, after I finished writing that, and I wrote it all sort of like in essentially one breath or something, I thought to myself, I have been watching and listening to this stuff for way too long to have that come out so smoothly. Yeah. Thank you, Terry Diamantis. I think she's looking for a date. She just wants someone to say, do you have a racist bone in your body? Would you like one, to her? Oh. And the other thing was there's a post from, or a tweet from NPR, a story from NPR, but this is their tweet. The unemployment rate is currently about 3.6%, the lowest rate in 5 decades. Planet Money asked an economist to give some context to that number. His take? The unemployment rate might not mean what it used to. And my response to that was in asterisks, tinfoil hat affixed. Mainstream media. We need to find a way to make the low unemployment not actually low unemployment, so it's not an arrow in Trump's 2020 quiver. I know we'll say a thing that's always been a thing isn't a thing anymore now that Trump is president. Removes tinfoil hat. That was my interpretation of that. It's like, okay, how can we take something that Trump could legitimately crow about and make it a detriment to crow about? I could be wrong. Again, tinfoil hat, conspiracy theory, but all the same. And that's all my fucketry. So, Satsu, what do you got?
Well, in response to that particular thing, like, we know how this goes. They're just like, yeah, this thing was a good thing, but it's inconvenient for it to be good anymore. So now we have to try to figure out how to make it bad. Which I wonder, like, being the person whose job that is, where it's just like finally, we've got some food to feed this shelter full of homeless kids that we found. It's going to be awesome. It's like, oh, hold on. Trump just said feeding homeless kids is good. So now you have to figure out a reason to tell those kids that they're not getting it and why it's better for them.
No. The spin would be government feeding kids unhealthy food.
Yeah, there you go.
Something like that. Yeah.
Poisoning kids with nutrition.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. I didn't really see any fucking. The only thing I saw today that was hilarious didn't really need a comment because it just kind of spoke for itself. And that was the Antifa attempts to destroy a sign by kicking it in circles.
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
No, I didn't. That's funny.
It looks like a blooper. Like, it looks like some shit that somebody would have made dressed up like Antifa people. Like, this is how stupid they are. But it's not. This is just actually how stupid they are. Here, let me grab the link for you guys so you can see this. I'm just like, holy fuck, these morons. And they're trying for a very, very long time. They're trying to, like, it's a really tiny sign, and they're trying to kick it from both sides. And it's just not working. It's not working at all. I just put it in the chat for you guys to see it because it is quite hilarious. But yeah, that was pretty much the only thing I've seen today because I was very busy. Very busy day today.
All right, Monkey.
Oh Lord, let's see.
Oh Lord.
So I'm enjoying myself because somebody got hashtag AOC resign trending just to fuck with the liberals who keep doing, Ivanka needs to go and Trump needs to resign, that stuff. Just to fuck with them, like, all right, watch, we'll do it. And there's you'll never make this happen. Bam, top of the trending list. Oops. Never forget, lefties. Memeing it belongs to the right. You're no good at it, and they can take it back at will. Let's see where are we at here. I want to say congratulations to Irate Alex, our friend Irate Bear. He hit 5,000 on his Irate Alex channel.
Yay!
Hey, good for him. Okay, I guess we'll start with this stupid twat. It's one of the things I woke up to this morning while I was doing Monkey in the morning. I came across this. All white Americans have racist bones in their bodies. It's part of our DNA as a nation. We may wish we didn't. We may be working to correct it. But instead of denying it, let's admit it and talk about it. Much of what we do is impacted by it. We need to stop saying this. And what she was responding to is somebody saying that there was a guy who didn't have a bigoted bone in his body. And she's like, bullshit. All of us honkies are racist.
Yeah, Monkey wasn't present when I did this already.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
what was your response?
No, my response is the same thing as always been. If you're telling me that all white people are racist and you're white, you're telling me you're racist.
Yeah, that's it. And it fascinates me though that these people don't get that. Where it's just like, yeah, this person over here said they're not a bigot, and you're like, no, that's not true. We're all bigots. See, I'm a bigot. That's like, no. You're a bigot. don't try to put me. And you're no, I'm a piece of shit. So you have to be too. No, that's not how that works. You're a piece of shit by yourself.
A Monkey, this is what I said. I said, I'm sorry, you're speaking with false authority on racism since your white privilege makes you complicit in white supremacy in the first place. Everything you say is suspect since you are blind to the lived experiences of the truly oppressed. Take your white guilt elsewhere, please.
I told her that to not put her sins on me.
Yeah, exactly.
Because fuck you. I just put a link in chat there. That's actually the first thing I woke up to this morning. And you should click on that and look at it because that is a horrible, horrible thing to wake up to. Miley Cyrus released a new video today.
Oh, yeah.
Called Mother's Daughter.
Yeah.
It's a song about what a dirty whore she is. But it's okay because she's her mother's daughter, which, good job, Mom. But there's a picture that she put out beforehand, and she put that out 2 hours before the video went live. She actually did a premiere, you guys. An actual YouTube premiere.
Oh, my God.
With the shitty music beforehand and everything. So, yeah, we were watching that briefly during the show. But this suit here, is it haunts me. It's I get it. She's trying to get attention and everything, but that is disturbing. That's going to give me nightmares. It's zipper twat, and I don't need to see that. Yeah, I'm gonna do that for my own YouTube channel. I'm gonna get me some leather and a big metal spiky penis, and see if I can't get as many views as she got on hers. I watched this video, and in like the first minute of it, I saw her break like every one of YouTube's advertising rules from yesterday or from 2 days ago. Every single one of them. Like, good job, lady.
Well, hey, she premiered it. How many super chats did she get?
I didn't see. I didn't. I was listening as I was going back and forth to the show, so I wasn't paying attention to their chat. There were some nice people who were. I don't know if she'd get it anyway because it's on the Vivo channel. I don't know how that works for them. Yeah. But there were some nice people who dropped it in their chat that I was live. I don't think it helped our views at all, but it's like, thank you guys, you're awesome. Best audience on the YouTube.
Brendan, I got some homework for you. I need you to take that picture and make a Teeth 2 logo for it. Like,
oh man. Did you talk about the woman who said that white men should be arrested for talking to Southeast Asian women?
No.
What? That's very specific.
Says, no offense, but every white man who goes to Southeast Asia and says a single word to any local woman needs to be locked the fuck up.
Oh.
I don't know what happened in this woman's life. But be careful, white guys. Don't talk to the Asian chicks, the Southeast Asian chicks. Apparently the Northern Asian chicks is okay. Now this one I saw while we were live. This is some young millennial chick posted this out. Says, okay, I want a genuine answer. If you're past the age of 25, why are you on Twitter? I genuinely want to know. She got ratioed the fuck out, y'all. I don't know if that's a saying, but 7,900 comments at the moment to 2,000 likes, 2,700 likes. And it's mostly just a whole bunch of, as she calls them, old people making jokes at her expense for how dumb she is.
Real quick, thank you, Sanguine. Don't put me in your bigot box.
Your sins are not my sins.
And thank you, Cryptic. It was probably love me long time, sucky sucky. Oh. You know what that's a reference to?
Whores in Asia?
Full Metal Jacket.
Whores in Asia?
Well, Full Metal Jacket specifically.
We had Representative Wilson. That's one I talked about earlier. And then I just saw something. You had read the story earlier, Chris Cuomo talking about Trump's taxes, right?
I don't know if it was Chris Cuomo, but I talked about the taxes.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, not Chris Cuomo. Saliza.
Yes.
Saliza's the reason I found this tweet, because he was tweeting this out in response to his own article and everything. Somebody put Lloyd Doggett, however you say his name, Democrat on the Ways and Means Committee, bashes his party for slow approach to suing Trump for his taxes, telling Chris Cuomo, quote, "This should have been done a long time ago. Being thorough and careful is important, but dilatory, is that how you say it? Dilatory? I don't know. Is not good when your opponent's tactic is delay, delay, delay." Now they're telling us this is a legal matter. They have to have this, it's legal. They're looking into legal things. When you're using the word opponent, you just threw out all pretext of why you're doing it. You're doing it. This is political theater, and you have them fucking telling you on national television. And Chris is still up there defending. No, man, they're doing it right. Our press is sad.
How would you use the word opponent? That sounds so transparent. It's just like, we're not doing this because we don't like them and we need political clout. But our opponent is dodging.
Our opponent in this legal matter. No, that's not the word you use. Yeah, this is all about political theater. And if you think otherwise, I have several bridges and some oceanfront property right here in Michigan I am willing to sell you. Cheap.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. Well, let's see. We can get 10 minutes. How about a Mad Lib?
My libs are always mad.
Sure.
Yeah, if there's one thing I love from both of you, it's the enthusiasm you bring to this show.
Well, I had to mute myself so I could cough there, and I was barely getting my breath back. Yes, let's do some Mad Libs. There you go. Better.
No,
What is
the moment has passed. Sorry, Monkey. Sad libs, everyone. So, chat, this is what I need from you. And be sure to put them into separate entries into your chat messages. I need a plural noun. I need verb number 1 and verb number 2. I guess verbs are fungible, so either way, but I need a plural noun and 2 separate verbs. And so, Satsu, give me an adjective.
Depressed.
All right. Monkey, give me an adjective.
Horny.
All right. Satsu, I need an animal.
A gorilla.
Oh. Monkey, I need a noun.
Mark's dildo.
Who's Mark?
Don't worry about it.
Marx.
Oh, I was like, Mark's dildo. Like, who's Mark? Mark's dildo. Okay. Satsu, I need a noun.
Pepperoni pizza.
Okay. Monkey, I also need a noun.
Space shuttle.
Interesting. Okay, Satsu, I need a part of the body. Yeah, I know.
You've activated my trap card. Weenus!
Weenus. Monkey, I need a part of the body.
Taint.
You're right. Satsu, I need a plural noun.
A plural noun. How about hearts?
Hearts?
Hearts.
All right. All right. So, chat, moving on to you. Terry Diamante says thieves. Sounds good to me. Now we're on to the verbs. Let's see. Let me see if I can see somebody having. Let's see. Kyler or Killer says splodging. I'm assuming you mean splooging. I will assume splooging. If I'm incorrect, I apologize, but that's funnier. And let's see. Joe W says moisten. Oh, good one. Okay. All right. So this one is called Good to the Last Byte. And byte is written B-Y-T-E.
Oh.
To use a computer, you must have a keyboard, a monitor, and a handheld tracking device called a gorilla. Okay. In order to operate your depressed computer, a horny disk or floppy Mark's dildo are essential.
Okay.
Computers are very helpful for students because they store a million hearts of information in their hard splooging and correct misspelled thieves.
All right.
They can also add, subtract, and moisten numbers. Now, computers come in every shape and size, big and horny. The laptop computer, which sits on your weenus, is small enough that you can tuck it under your taint or carry it to school in your pepperoni pizza bag.
Some of this works too well.
Today, the computer is as much a part of a household as the kitchen space shuttle. And that is Mad Lib number 1.
Where can I get one of these kitchen space shuttles?
Hey, look under your weenus.
NASA. Oh wait, NASA would have one, but they sold it for $10 in 1973. Sorry.
To a guy who didn't know what he was buying.
Yeah, I had no idea what he had, even though he kept it for 50 years. And oh, by the way, it has labels on it. Yeah. Okay, we'll do this one. Oh, this ought to be funny. Okay, so chat, by the end of this, I need a plural noun, a profession, and a type of building. Very interesting choices this time. A plural noun, a profession, and a type of building. Monkey, I need an adjective.
Sweaty.
Okay, if I can spell today. Satsu, I need an amount of time.
525,600 minutes.
Fuck you, Rent. What was it again?
525,600 minutes.
Okay. Monkey, I need a female celebrity.
Justine Bateman.
Oh my god. Satsu, I need just the last name of a celebrity, any celebrity, male or female. Just the last name.
O'Donnell.
O'Donnell?
Right.
Like Chris O'Donnell or some other O'Donnell?
Like Rosie O'Donnell.
Oh, that one. Monkey, I need a noun.
Pubic hair.
I see where this is going. Satsu, I need a noun.
Toaster oven.
Monkey, I need a noun. A horse, you say?
Spiked collar.
Okay. Satsu, I need another noun.
Unicorn penis.
Jesus Christ. Okay. And Monkey, I need a part of the body.
Scrotum.
Young scroats.
And Satsu, I need a plural noun.
How about cancer patients?
Oh, Lord. Okay, on to chat. So chat, I need a plural noun. Tartness says video games. Sounds good. A profession. A profession. Let's see. USP 211816. Taxidermist. All right, sounds good. And lastly, a type of building. Let me scroll back up. Sorry, guys. Shrouded Angel says a hospital. Sounds good. All right. All right. So this one is called My Music Lesson.
Okay.
Oh, boy. Every Wednesday, when I get home from school, I have a piano lesson. My teacher is a very strict pubic hair. Her name is Justine Bateman. Our piano is a Steinway concert toaster oven, and it has 88 cancer patients.
Oh.
It also has a soft pedal and a sweaty pedal. When I have a lesson, I sit down on the piano's spiked collar and play for 525,600 minutes.
Nice.
I do scales to exercise my video games, And then I usually play a minuet by Johann Sebastian O'Donnell. Teacher says I am a natural unicorn penis and have a good natural scrotum.
Nice.
Perhaps when I get better, I will become a concert taxidermist and give a recital at Carnegie Hospital.
Is there a Carnegie Hospital?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Carnegie everything else.
Yeah, exactly. Carnegie funded everything, so there probably is at least one or two named after him. All right, guys.
Compliment.
Thank you so much for the contributions to the Mad Libs. I will post them to Twitter presently, or tomorrow if I forget about it right now. Some of those work way too well.
I know it's time for question time, but can I do something first? Because I just saw something that really annoyed the shit out of me.
All right.
CNN just tweeted this out. Representative Madeline Dean became emotional while describing an interaction she had with detained migrant children, saying a group of children, quote, in cages behind glass, quote, end quote, passed a note to her under a door asking, quote, how can we help you?
You know, I remember when my 4-year-old came up to me and asked me about the War of 1812.
She is suggesting children who likely don't speak English, who've just been drugged across the desert, across the entirety of Mexico, and likely don't even watch the news to begin with, passed her a note asking how the migrant kids could help Congress. What? And, you know, this is from CNN. They don't even question it. It's like, this happened. This is how we end up with people like E. Jean Carroll. Because you don't even have to have a realistic sounding story. Just make it one that makes everybody else, or that follows the narrative you want.
I feel like, and this is I'm putting on my Alex Jones hat. I feel like she brought that in. She showed it to the person who was responsible for being like, okay, print that. And they were like, this is ridiculous. And they're like, oh, you're serious? Okay, print it. Like, I feel like that's exactly how that went.
And remember, they're in cages and behind glass.
Yeah.
But they were able to get a note under a door to her.
Did she, is there a picture of the note?
Not that I've seen.
I want to see the note.
So I would too. And I'd like to see it against her own handwriting. How can we help you? The note simply says, we heart you, we love you, and the children smiled. Aw, shut up. It's a goddamn line, you know it. And CNN, you're helping perpetuate it.
Because nobody cares about the truth, monkey.
That's kind of
overrated.
It's that MI5 child that snuck in there. I got to get this note to the outside. Shut up, lying bastards. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right, guys, it's question time. If you guys have questions, comments, conspiracy theories, complaints, if strangers passed you a note today that you'd like to tell us that is totally true, put it in the chat now. If you have questions for us directly, please put plenty of chat marks after those. If you have statements you'd like us to consider, please put plenty of statement marks after those. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, ask your friends in chat. They may tell you. Ebony Williams asks, Scribe, has anyone approached you for voiceover work yet? Well, I've done a couple of promos for other people's channels in the past, or shows and things. So that's happened. As far as like professional, no. As far as paid, no. So I guess in that sense, no. Let's see. Aether says she passed a window. Maybe I missed that part. Chat jumped. Toaster Network, Scribe, do you think AOC will ever do it with David Hogg? No.
What a question.
What's it with you and them doing it?
I don't know. Pyrus Creed, Monkey, how much for those bridges? I know a guy.
I can't discuss it online. It's super secret.
Let's see. Oh, Jack Gunsky wants everybody to know Lady Monkey is going to be on Quiplash tonight. Is that true?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Okay. I wanted to make sure that wasn't a note slipped under the door. I think I don't know if this will last. I think that should become our euphemism for a story I doubt.
Yeah, just like, is this a note slipped under the door?
Is this a note slipped under the door? Let's see if we can make that a thing. I mean, we've tried to start things like that in the past, and we forget them by the next show. But let's see if we can start that. Chicago Mike says CNN has been known to be truthful. See Jesse Smollett and Covington.
Well played.
Remember, guys, CNN are journalists, not investigators.
Yeah, they note slipped a lot then too.
Jim Gila says the Spider-Man movie was a disappointment. That is what I'm hearing from several different people. I've heard things as like complete disappointment to it was all right. Those are the two most prominent sort of. No one I have heard that I have any that I rely on their opinion or trust their opinion. Have I heard anybody say was excellent, top shelf, anything else? Just that it was good or blah. So, Motto Winter, Lords of the Night. How is the Musing Marmosets musical Mace?
I'm a monkey, damn it, and my dick is fine. Thank you.
Let's see. Quinn the Cultist, Scribe Light. Would you kindly say oh God. She sells seashells by the seashore in your Chicago voice? Oh God. Yeah, see? She sells seashells by the seashore, see? See? No one nowhere. So, sorry. Why do so many people mistakenly think Betsy Ross had anything to do with the flag? Isn't the legend is that she sewed the flag together. She was the one that sewed it. Isn't that true? Well, I mean, the legend. It is true that it is a legend. I don't know if it's
American mythology.
True. Yeah, it's probably not factually true, but it's American mythology. Sort of like the cherry tree, and a million other things you could probably think of that I don't have on the top of my head right now.
Well, we talked about this morning. We celebrate 1776 as the birth of our country, but our country didn't officially start till the Constitution was ratified in 1787. It's an old country, and there's stories that just passed down, man.
I thought it was 1789.
87. I swear it was 87. Maybe it was 89. Still, it
was
1776.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, and chat jumped again. Frosted Glass Monkey, how do you feel about our stream having Yo Woman?
Okay. Am I supposed to have feelings about that?
I don't know. I guess the answer is you don't feel anything at all. How do you feel? You don't feel. Mr. Monopoly, Scribe, what was your first G-rated film, PG-rated film, PG-13? Well, G-rated, as far as my parents tell me, it was a reissuing of Peter Pan when I was like a baby. So I wasn't even conscious for it really. But the first one I remember, I guess, is probably E.T., I suppose. PG-rated film, probably Ghostbusters. My dad took my sister and I to Ghostbusters while my mom was having a baby shower for a friend of hers at our house. It was my sister's very first movie, and of course, it's Ghostbusters, and we were little kids, and it was scary as hell. But
nuts! I saw what you were saying.
Sorry, what?
It was Massive Dynamics' birthday yesterday.
Oh.
And we were both wrong. The Constitution was ratified in 88. It took effect in 89.
That's what it was.
That's what it is. So, yes. And I did see that earlier, Nuts. I wasn't ignoring you. I promise. Jeez.
Real quick. Non-Vitae Rex. Hey, guys. So Spider-Man Far From Home was good. Definitely go see it in theaters. Review over. Like I say, I've heard varying things. I'm not inclined to rush out and see it. Kind because I'm kind of, I don't know. I might be experiencing some Marvel burnout after Infinity War and Endgame. I'll probably see it sooner or later. Although it might be the first Spider-Man movie I don't see in the theater. I don't know. We'll see if I get the opportunity. All right, so we have a birthday.
Real quick, I saw Homecoming and the two Avengers films he was in recently, and yeah, I have no real desire to go see that. Yeah, it's Massive Dynamics' birthday yesterday. We're a day behind because we're not on Sundays, but yesterday was Monday.
Yes,
Massive Monday. Dynamics. Where were you yesterday?
Yesterday,
make me have to sing with extra words. Nah, you know I love doing this shit. Massive Dynamic. It was your birthday yesterday, and we missed you then, so we'll get you today. This one's for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you yesterday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you yesterday.
Dying on the inside.
Happy birthday.
But it's nothing new, so don't worry about it.
Happy birthday to you. And that says, I tried telling you yesterday. One, Massive, I hope you had a great birthday. I really do. And apparently he was here and they were trying to get our attention yesterday for it. I'm sorry. Oh, now I feel bad. Now I feel real bad.
What?
No, she's fucking with you, man.
Nuts doesn't.
It was Satsu's night. It was his responsibility.
No, yesterday when she said it was somebody's birthday, she was fucking with us.
Let's see.
Later in the show, if it was somebody's birthday.
Let's see. Frost Glass, you guys hear about Nike pulling the 4th of July? Yeah, we talked about that I think yesterday, and it's stupid, but Nike is beholden to Kaepernick now that they made him basically their spokesperson, and so what are they going to do? Because just so you know, guys, anything that happened in the past at a time where slavery was a thing is evil. Anything, the independence of our country, the Civil War, the Emancipation Proclamation, all these things are inherently evil because of the existence of slavery at the time it occurred or was created or was said or someone lived. All of it. It's all tainted. It's all irrelevant and evil. Just so you know. Does that cover it?
One, they were actually ugly shoes, and if they'd gotten rid of it based on that did not look good.
Yeah.
If they'd gotten rid of it based on that, fine, but it was racist back then. Shut up, Colin. And Nike sure told him to go get bent. Yes, they gave him a bunch of money, but he doesn't control them.
Well,
that was MASH last night. Sorry about that, Star.
And that doesn't lie to us, sweetie.
Yeah, he obviously controls them. I mean, they paid him money to tell them what to do.
Well,
he's their new proxy CEO. Straight Sith Mail says Nike still uses child slavery labor. Yeah, and who took the money from that? Oh, Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah, but that's less important than what Colin Kaepernick got going on.
That's true.
It's not black people, though. It's just little Chinese kids. It's all right.
Yeah.
Trained his back sitting down, man. That's way more important than fucking.
Let's see. Pirates Creed, is Nike abusing Kaepernick by giving him money since we use money to purchase slavery? So, are you saying that Kaepernick is a slave? That'd go over well. Especially since he's a millionaire. I don't think he's in that much trouble. Mr. Monopoly, I honestly could not tell you answers to most of that stuff. I don't know. I saw a lot of movies when I was a kid. My dad brought home a lot of movies on VHS that were R-rated, PG-13. I saw Nightmare on Elm Street 3 when I was like 7 or something, and I've seen a ton of movies. I don't know that I've ever the first X-rated film I saw. Since they don't really use X anymore as their actual rating for things, I believe it was like Midnight Cowboy, because I think that was one of the movies that was actually rated X at the time, and I saw it when I was like 13 or 14 or something. I don't know. So, yeah. couldn't tell you all the other ones. I've seen so many. Especially, I couldn't tell you my firsts, let's say, because I don't remember the order of everything. Captain's Dogs. Would Congress also be held to Frederica Wilson's no making fun of Congress on the internet? Oh, I don't know. That would be interesting, wouldn't it?
I'd be like just like everything else they push. We want people to be punished for this thing, unless they agree with us or they're talking about somebody we don't like. Or
you should do, Monkey. You should try to find a quote from that lady that made that statement.
Yeah.
Wherein she is making fun of another fellow politician and tweet it back to her.
Well, she does apparently go on and blame Trump for Congress's low approval ratings.
Well, but that's not necessarily making fun. That's a criticism. You got to find a.
No, and I get that. I just thought that part was funny.
James Colley, in that note, was there a check, yes or no option?
Will you be my illegal? Check yes or no.
Ebony Williams, which energy drink is the most effective? Coca-Cola with cocaine in it.
What energy drink? Probably coffee.
Blue Monster.
Coffee's the tried and true one.
5 Hour Energy. I don't. The only energy drink I've ever had, so far as I can recall, I think I had one Red Bull years and years ago, but I barely remember it. I just remember it tasted like, Smarties.
Oh yeah.
Okay, or maybe is it the Monster? Anyway, maybe it's the Blue Monster. It tastes like if you could milk Smarties.
Oh boy.
That's what it tastes like to me. Not necessarily a bad thing. It's just a very odd taste. You get used to it, I suppose, after you start drinking it. But yeah, that's what I always thought. If you took Smarties and you could turn it into like a juice.
That's strange.
I know, that's just the way I interpreted it. Your boy Pat says Red Bull or Rip It. Oh, well, Pat's a Red Bull man. Ebony Williams, least favorite superhero. Crazy Quilt, maybe.
Crazy Quilt.
Frogman. No, least favorite superhero. There's a whole bunch
movie version of Spider-Man.
The movie version. There's a whole bunch in Liefeld's Wildcats from Image Comics that I thought were stupid. Like what? Archer? No, was it Archer or Arrow or something? I mean, they're so on the nose names for some of his characters. I thought they were just dumb. Oh, right. So there was a character. I actually have issue number 1 of Wildcats. No, sorry, not Wildcats. Youngblood. Sorry, Youngblood. Wildcats and Youngblood. How could I mix those two up? Youngblood. The character was named Bedrock. Right, big. I mean, he's basically like, imagine the Thing, except he's gray without all like the little cracks all over him, and he's made out of rock. So Bedrock, except that I forget exactly how it worked, but apparently the people at Hanna-Barbera took exception to that because they thought it would be associated with the Flintstones. So he had to rename it to Bad Rock. That was his answer to that problem.
Oh.
Yeah, most of the opening season, let's say, of Image Comics lineup of characters were pretty weak. Liefeld's especially. Some were more interesting than others. Chapel was kind of interesting, but only because he got entwined in the whole Spawn story. But a lot of the other Youngblood were just like, dude, these are so like bad X-Force rejects or copies explicitly. Let's see. Straight Sith Mail says Squirrel Girl. Squirrel Girl has some camp fun to her. They've overplayed her in the last several years, but she used to be really fun because she would like just through happenstance beat the most powerful enemies in the Marvel universe as a joke. So like she defeated Doctor Doom and Galactus, I think, at one point, and she took on Wolverine in hand-to-hand combat. It was all an inside joke, and I loved it. It was better when wasn't she part of the Great Lakes Avengers, which was a great comic book too. Let's see. Mr. Monopoly says, Scribe, have you owned a Laserdisc and a Laserdisc system? No, I never owned one, but I did rent Laserdiscs from the mom and pop video store that I worked at. And it was something else because, before there were DVDs, you had videotape or Laserdisc. And for the longest time, Disney would not release any of their movies on a DVD and only onto tape and Laserdisc. And so for quite a while, there was still a market for Laserdisc rentals because it was the only way you could get digital quality Disney movies. And there were several other filmmakers and such that would only release their films digitally onto Laserdisc if it was encoded with the right sound, which at the time you couldn't do on certain DVDs. Big controversy at the time. Laserdisc and then DVD versus DivX and a whole bunch of other stuff. I've got stories, but it doesn't matter. Let's see. Chat jumped again. Dang it. Let me scroll up. Thank you, Stargazer, for posting the merchandise link. Yeah, you guys can get Scribe Light mugs or Got It t-shirts or the new Moonbase t-shirt, if you like Moonbase. Motto Winter, Lords of the Night, when will the squirrels take over Great Britain? I don't know. I think Great Britain already is kind of nutty.
Huh?
You like that?
No.
Oh. The Captain's Dogs, if you passed a note under the door right this instant, what does it say?
I'm touching myself.
It would say, how can you help me?
It would say, me want honeycomb.
Frosted Glass, favorite Tariq Nasheed song? I didn't even know he did songs.
The answer can only be Wash Your Ass.
Wash
if it's
your
anything outside of Wash Your Ass, then you don't like the right music.
Ebony Williams, have you guys heard fan fiction about you? Yes, we used to have someone in chat. Was it N?
N.
I think it was N. N would constantly do, basically live / fiction, more or less, starring us or various individuals associated with the show. So the answer is yes. I don't know what happened to N.
He's around from time to time.
Oh, okay. I can't remember the last time I saw N. Let's see. 8-minute warning, guys. Any other questions or anything? And remember, over on Quiplash tonight on Jack Gunsky's channel, Lady Monkey will be dropping in to play Quiplash. Yes, that's what it was. Has Lady Monkey ever done shows before? I know she did something with SDA and Weibo, I think, at one point. But does she stream often?
She's been on shows before. No, she doesn't stream that often.
Mr. Monopoly Scribe, have you owned a brick phone? No. I didn't get a cell phone until far, far, far late into the game. Chicago Mike, favorite kind of cake? Well, it's a piece of cake to bake a pretty cake. German chocolate?
Mm-hmm.
I had this really, really, really super yummy strawberry cake not too long ago. I'm not going to say it's my favorite type of cake, but that's the last one I remember where I thought, this is delicious. So, Satsu?
If I had to pick now, it'd probably be cheesecake.
Quinn the Cultist, Scribe Light, why do the walls keep looking at me? Because you are their only scenery. Captain's Dogs, thank you so much. Gotta add a message, so squirrelless meth tooth.
Wow.
Is that a Mad Lib call out? Wait, what was that from?
No, it was just me screwing up the story.
Oh yeah.
It was the story of the toothless squirrel, the meth one. That guy.
Yeah. The squirrelless meth tooth. Yeah, I still need do we ever get some? We did get a couple of depictions of what a squirrelless meth tooth looks like. We could use a few more of those. Maniac Man says angel food or spice cake, hard choice for me. Okay. Cameraman J, how many of you say often with the hard T? Obviously not me.
Often.
I just say often, usually.
Oh, you got a little redneck in you.
Maybe. I guess it all depends. I guess it depends. I haven't really thought about it. Maybe just I'd have to be reading something probably. Bodacious T, is Lucas Brothers Moving Company an anime? I don't know. Satsu?
I don't know.
Bodacious T, there's this thing called Google. You might try that. I don't know. Mr. Monopoly, Scribe, have you ever owned a Betamax player? No. Well, I see a theme going on with Mr. Monopoly's questions today. Yeah.
Delve into the deepest depths of your memory and retrieve information for me.
Gorbag goes camping. Banana or zucchini bread? I don't like either really, but if I had to choose between the two, probably banana.
Banana bread all day. I fucking love banana bread, dude.
That's what you should make for your next video then.
Oh God, I tried to make banana bread one time and it went terribly wrong.
They taste the same, so it really doesn't matter.
They don't taste the same. They
Yes,
taste
they do.
they taste very close to the same, but not
unless somebody made you some nasty zucchini bread, they taste the same.
Yeah, somebody must have made me some nasty zucchini bread because it is not even close to as sweet as banana bread is.
That is the only way you'll get me to eat zucchini.
Frosted
You ever
Glass.
eat zucchini? That's just nasty. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Frosted Glass, you're talking up a girl about to close the deal, and you find out she's hardcore feminist. What do you do? I actually was in that situation at one point. I met a girl from a dating site kind of thing, and there was a lot of physical attraction in the course of conversation and stuff. She mentioned how she was really into social justice and feminism and everything else, but I had a one-night stand, and then she came back a couple nights later, and then things just kind of fizzled out, and we never talked to each other again. Not because anything bad happened, just because it was sort of like, aside from the brief physical attraction, there wasn't anything else there. So I kind of knew ahead of time there probably wouldn't be a long-term relationship in it, given some of her views on things and what would happen if she found out mine. But hey, it was a nice brief fling, I suppose.
You don't worry about birth control because she's just gonna vacuum it out. So you do that. You put it in her mouth as quick as she'll let you to keep her from talking. What else? Try for the butt stuff. I mean, tell her taking it in the puss is patriarchal, and that she should take it in the butt to show the man. And you have a good night. That's all.
Yeah, I don't know how much.
Okay.
Nope, you go ahead.
I was about to say, just hit it quick, so that way when you inevitably break up and she like freaks out about it, you can rub in her face that she fucked a Nazi.
And tape it all so you have evidence.
Yeah, I don't know how serious she was about her feminism, since she was very interested in me tying her up and taking advantage of her in certain ways. So there you go. Motto Winter, LOTN meow. Meow. Data Wasteland, Scribe Light, did you ever own a hand crank Victrola? Here's some entertainment contraption from long ago. Scribe Light, did you ever own this? Like, what am I, a collector or something? Am I an auctioneer?
Scribe, did you ever have a Viewmaster?
Yes, I did. I had one that had pictures from Disneyland, and like it was a classic one. It was like one like my father gave me. It was like this, old time antique one practically.
Scribe, while riding a saber-toothed tiger, did you have the Rock 2?
Wait, one at a time. You both overlapped.
No, I was asking you, while riding a saber-toothed tiger, did you own the Rock 2?
The Rock 2.
Yeah, I had one. Well, I had the first Rock.
Though I do want to rock down to Electric Avenue.
That's gay.
No. Massive Dynamics, Scribe Light, have you ever tried Masaka? I don't believe so. I don't think so. Well, guys, we're just about at the top of the hour, so by the time I finish this, we will be there. So everybody, thank you so much for joining us as you always do. Really do appreciate it. You guys really are the best audience in the world. Moderators, thank you for keeping an eye on things, even though our audience is the best behaved in the world, at least relatively speaking to the show. You know, you're all kind of nuts, but whatever. And everybody who donated, thank you so much for your generosity. I really do appreciate it. And one more big thank you to Joey Pecoraro and his manager, Chris, for their assistance in the whole copyright thing. Hopefully that's all taken care of now. Remember, guys, over on Jack Gunsky's channel for Quiplash, after this show, Lady Monkey will be stopping by to play games, so you can listen to her and one of her rare live broadcasts. There's no gaming stream tonight, correct?
Correct.
Hello?
Right.
Correct.
Okay. And as per usual, guys, tomorrow will be on Monkey's channel at the regular time. And with that, I think that's everything. So, Monkey, Satsu, thank you for joining me as always.
Whatever.
Everyone else, your lives make us sad. And slip a note under the door for us. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
Let's see. I'm going to find today's secret word per usual from Screw the Roses, Send Me the Thorns, the romance and sexual sorcery of sadomasochism. And okay. Today's secret word is squirrelless meth tooth.
Sadomasochism.
It's weird.